Zoya's snarky personality is one of my favorite things to read in this book. She is so snappy and witty, and I just love to see the banter between her and King Nikolai. And I totally forgot that David is still alive in this duology, not like that horrible Netflix series who killed him. He is one of my favorite characters, so I was so sad when Netflix killed him like that. I have read about like the beginning of this book, and just like I said in the Six of Crows theology, this one is also my reread after reading it in 3 or 4 years ago. So I don't really remember a lot of details, but I know the major plot points, but it's still very entertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the part where David says, "If you upset my wife again, I will kill you where you stand." Round of applause, please. A round of applause. I think I had screamed when I first read this part years ago, and still I laughed and giggled when I read this part again today. Do you know what he does before he says this? He planted a finger on the page to mark his place in his book. Such a nerd. I really like this character. I'm at around like 50% of this book. So far, the pace has been way slower than any other Grishaverse books. I think it's because the two plots of this book are completely disconnected so far, so it just feels like I'm reading two different books that are totally in different places and speed. Since I read this book before, I know how these stories will connect later. Still, right now at the first book in this duology, it just feels a bit too slow. Each story is good separately, but I'm not sure reading them side by side make them more interesting right now at this point. Overall, the pace has been slow, but I'm expecting for the book to pick it up soon. I have finished King of Scars just right now. Previously, I gave 3 stars to this book. But while I was rereading it, I could see more and more details that I had missed before. And guys, it is really true that Leigh Bardugo can just write a movie scene. It just really feels like the whole scene is playing in my head, and it just feels so vivid. Just like Six of Crows theology. I still have the same opinion about the first half of the book, which has this 2 diverging stories that doesn't really connect. But after 80% of the book, they start to get mingled more and more, so that starts to make sense. But other than that, the character development, the speed of the plot, and how the word has expanded were marvelous to watch. I've just used the verb watch because it just feels like watching, not reading. Also, I totally forgot about this character's father and who he is. And when I rediscovered that, I was so shocked. And that is such a good plot twist. It can be obvious to some, but I was so immersed in other important plot points, I totally missed that. I didn't guess that at all. I think if you already love the Six of Crows theology, you will also love this book, because even as an active fan service, this book mentions crows a lot. And every time I read their names like cats, I just felt like little this chill, like, oh, I know him. So how will I rate this book after I reread it? I give 4 stars to this book because it was so good, other than that 2 diverging plot points. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this one, click the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out any recommendations or reviews from me. See you next time. Bye!